Ethan Parker was the kind of boy no one really noticed. At 19, he drifted quietly through college classes and part-time shifts at a local bookstore. Never the loudest voice, never the boldest presence. His friends described him as steady, but inside, Ethan often felt more like he was sleepwalking through life. That quiet spell broke on an ordinary Saturday afternoon in his mom's sunlit kitchen. His mother, Lydia, a sharp-witted event planner who thrived on competition, sat sipping iced tea with her sister, Valerie. Their conversations always spun into dares and one-upmanship. Ethan usually tuned them out, until Valerie laughed and made a comment that sliced through the air like a challenge. "Your son couldn't last an hour pretending to be a girl," Valerie teased. "He's too stiff. Too serious. He'd give himself away instantly." Ethan froze with his spoon midair. Lydia's eyes glinted like fire catching kindling. "Please," Lydia shot back. "If I wanted to, I could transform him so well that you wouldn't recognize him. My Ethan could walk into one of your charity galas and no one would guess." Ethan nearly choked on his cereal. "Mom." But Lydia leaned forward, smiling like a chess player already seeing 3 moves ahead. "Want to make it interesting?" Valerie smirked. "What's the wager?" "If Ethan can pass as a girl convincingly at your next gala," Lydia declared, "then you'll donate half of your silent auction profits to my community project. But if he fails, I'll cater your next event for free." Valerie laughed so hard she almost spilled her drink. "Deal. But don't blame me when your son bails." Then both women turned to Ethan. "Wait, me." His stomach flipped. The safe answer was no. But a part of him, the part that had once lingered over his cousin's dresses during childhood sleepovers, the part that secretly rewatched fashion tutorials online, stirred awake. He forced a laugh. "Sure. Why not?" Lydia's grin widened. She knew that tone. She knew he was hooked. That night, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about it. He lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying Valerie's words. Could he really do it? Would he even want to? The strangest part was, instead of dread, he felt a flicker of excitement he couldn't name. The following afternoon, Lydia swept into his room carrying a garment bag and a box of makeup brushes. "You said yes, remember," she said with the gleam of a coach before the big game. Ethan's throat went dry. "You're really serious about this?" "Dead serious. But here's the thing, if we're doing this, you can't half commit. You have to try. All in." Ethan stared at her. Then, slowly, he nodded. And that's how the first stroke of lipstick touched his lips, shaky but undeniable, marking the moment Ethan Parker's ordinary life cracked open, the moment the lipstick closed with a soft click. Ethan felt like there was no turning back. His mom wasn't treating this like a playful joke anymore. She was orchestrating a project. A transformation. And he was at the center of it. Lydia spread everything out across the desk. Foundation bottles, blush palettes, tiny brushes with sleek handles, a curling iron still in its box. Ethan had never seen so many tools of beauty gathered in one place. "Okay," Lydia said briskly, tucking her hair behind her ear like a director on set. "We'll start simple. Foundation first. Smooth canvas before the art." Ethan swallowed hard. She dabbed a sponge against his skin, cool and creamy, erasing freckles, softening sharp angles. With each brushstroke, his face seemed to blur, less Ethan, more possibility. Then came eyeliner. Lydia leaned close, steady hands, while Ethan's heart pounded. "Don't blink." "I'm trying not to." "Then relax. Trust me." The line dragged across his eyelid. He expected it to sting or look ridiculous, but when she stepped back and tilted the mirror, Ethan startled. His eyes looked different. Bigger. Sharper. Softer. "Whoa," he whispered. Lydia smiled knowingly. "You see it, don't you? That's just the beginning. Clothes were next." She opened the garment bag like a magician unveiling a trick. Inside hung a simple but elegant outfit, a lilac blouse with lace at the sleeves, paired with a flowing skirt the color of champagne. "Try them," she urged. Ethan hesitated, fingers brushing the fabric. It wasn't just clothing. It felt like stepping into another world. But curiosity, that same itch he couldn't shake, pulled him forward. He slipped off his hoodie and jeans, then carefully tugged the skirt up his legs. The fabric whispered against his skin, light, strange, exhilarating. When he finally looked at his reflection, something inside him twisted. He didn't just look dressed up, he looked different. Not bad, Lydia murmured, circling him like a stylist at work. But we need a name. Every presentation needs an introduction. Ethan blinked at her. A name. Yes. You're not Ethan when you walk into that gala. You'll need a girl's name. Something that feels right to you. He stared at his reflection, the strange girl in the mirror who looked both foreign and familiar. His lips parted before he could think too much. Elena, he said softly. Lydia's smile widened. Perfect. Elena it is. And in that instant, Ethan wasn't sure if it was still part of the dare, or if a new truth had just been spoken into existence. The mirror no longer showed Ethan. It showed Elena, uncertain and awkward, but undeniably there. Lydia wasted no time, her voice brisk but encouraging. Clothes and makeup are only half the battle. Movement sells the illusion. If you stomp around like you're late for soccer practice, Valerie will see right through you. Ethan snorted. I never played soccer. Exactly my point. She handed him a pair of low heels, glossy black with delicate straps. These are training wheels. Don't worry, you won't break an ankle. Probably. Sliding his feet in was like stepping into a trap. His balance shifted immediately, his calves tightening as he tried to stand. He wobbled once, twice, then grabbed the dresser. Lydia clapped her hands. Good. Now walk. Walk? Mom, I can barely stand. Shorter steps. Chin up. Pretend the floor is a runway. It felt ridiculous. His steps were jerky at first, more like a fawn on ice than anything remotely graceful. But Lydia kept coaching, and with each pass across the room, something clicked. His hips swayed, not exaggerated, just enough to change the rhythm. His arms relaxed. By the fifth lap, he wasn't thinking about falling anymore. He was thinking about the strange elegance unfolding inside him. Then came voice practice. Lydia pulled out her phone, opened a recording app. Say hello as Ethan. Hello, he said flatly. Now say it as Elena. Hello. It came out higher, tentative. Better. Again. Add warmth. Imagine you're greeting a friend. Hello. He laughed at how silly it sounded, but the more he repeated it, the less forced it felt. The mirror confirmed it when he softened his tone and tilted his head. The girl staring back wasn't pretending. She was speaking. By evening, the house was scattered with makeup wipes, spare skirts, and discarded notes scribbled with posture tips. Ethan collapsed onto the couch, exhausted. But when he caught his reflection in the darkened TV screen, Elena sitting there, makeup slightly smudged but smiling, he felt a jolt of pride. Not bad for day one, Lydia said, dropping beside him. Valerie won't know what hit her. Ethan hesitated. Mom, what if I'm not just doing this for the bet? Lydia looked at him, her expression softening for the first time all day. Then maybe the bet wasn't about Valerie at all. Maybe it was about you. The words hung in the air, heavy and liberating all at once. By the third day of training, the house felt too small. Every hallway walk, every mirror rehearsal. It was starting to feel like Elena lived in a cage. Ethan sat at his desk, makeup half done, staring at the soft lilac blouse Lydia had laid out. The thought pulsed in his head. If I can't walk outside as her, am I really her? Lydia must have read his mind. She appeared in the doorway with a small smile. You're restless, she said. He nodded. Then let's test it. Ethan's eyes widened. Outside. Nothing dramatic. Just a coffee shop run. Sunglasses, hair down. People won't look twice. His heart raced. It wasn't the outfit that terrified him, it was the idea of being seen. Still, a part of him ached to try. He slipped into the blouse and skirt, applied eyeliner with practiced care, then smoothed the wig until auburn strands framed his face. Lydia handed him a crossbody purse. Ready, Elena? The name steadied him. He nodded. The cafe was only a 5-minute walk, but every step felt like a mile. His heels clicked against the pavement, the sound sharp in his ears. He expected stares, laughter, whispers. Instead, most people barely glanced up. A teenager scrolling on her phone, a man unloading groceries, an elderly woman with a small dog. None of them saw Ethan in disguise. They saw Elena. At the counter, he ordered a latte. The barista smiled politely, writing Elena on the cup without hesitation. Ethan nearly trembled at the sight of the name scrawled in black marker. On the way back, something shifted. His walk grew steadier. The breeze tugged at his skirt, but instead of panic, he felt alive. Free. That night, back in the safety of his room, he scrolled through the photos Lydia had secretly snapped on her phone. Elena at the cafe table, sunglasses tilted, sipping her drink. She looked effortless. Real. But as he studied the pictures, his phone buzzed. A text. From Chloe. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Want to hang out tomorrow? Chloe, his childhood friend, the one person who could always read him like an open book. Ethan's chest tightened. What if she saw through everything? What if she guessed? And yet, deep down, a daring thought whispered, what if I introduced her to Elena instead? Ethan barely slept that night. Chloe's message lit his mind like a storm. She wasn't just any friend, she was his anchor, the one who had sat with him through breakups, cheered at his high school graduation, and never once let him fade into the background. If anyone could see through him, it was her. By morning, he had made up his mind. If Elena was going to exist beyond the safety of makeup and mirrors, Chloe had to meet her. Lydia raised a brow when he told her. That's a big risk. I know, Ethan admitted. But if I can't even show Chloe, how am I supposed to face an entire gala? Lydia studied him for a moment, then nodded. Fine. But you'll do it right. Full look. No hesitation. 2 hours later, Elena stood by the window, nerves coiled like springs. A denim skirt, white blouse with flutter sleeves, and flats for practicality. Her auburn wig brushed her shoulders. Her makeup was soft, natural, just enough to frame her features. The doorbell rang. Ethan's heart slammed against his ribs. Lydia gave a small nod. Go on. Answer it. Elena opened the door. Chloe stood there with a soda in hand, her expression casual, until her eyes landed on Elena. She blinked. Once. Twice. Then her mouth dropped open. Oh my God. Ethan. Elena swallowed hard. It's Elena, she whispered. For a long, breathless moment, Chloe just stared. Then, to Ethan's shock, she grinned. You look incredible. Heat rushed to Ethan's cheeks. You're not freaked out? Chloe shook her head, stepping inside. Freaked out? Are you kidding? You've been hiding this from me? You pull it off better than half the girls in my dorm. Elena's laugh cracked from relief. It started as a dare. Mom and Aunt Valerie made this stupid bet. Chloe raised a hand. I don't care about the bet. I care about you. And honestly, I think this is the first time I've seen you light up like this. Her words hit harder than Ethan expected. Because it was true. Elena wasn't just a disguise. She was breathing life into a part of him he hadn't known how to name. They spent the afternoon in his room, Chloe painting Elena's nails a soft lavender while they laughed about old memories. At one point, Chloe leaned back and studied her handiwork. You know, if you walked into class like this tomorrow, no one would think twice. The thought made Ethan's pulse race. School. Public. A whole new level of exposure. But when he looked at Chloe's easy smile, a seed of daring planted itself inside him. Maybe Elena's world didn't have to stop at the front door. By the next morning, Chloe was already buzzing with ideas. She leaned against Ethan's desk, scrolling through her phone while Elena nervously reapplied mascara in the mirror. So, Chloe said casually, are you ready to see how Elena handles the real world? Ethan froze mid-stroke. The cafe was already the real world. Chloe smirked. That was easy mode. I'm talking about campus. Ethan nearly dropped the mascara wand. Campus? As in, walking into class like this. Exactly, Chloe said. It's perfect. Nobody will be expecting it. You'll blend in like any other student. And if you can pull it off there, Valerie's gala will be a piece of cake. Ethan's stomach flipped. The idea was terrifying. Dozens of familiar faces, professors, classmates who might recognize him. But deep down, another voice whispered, "Don't you want to know if they see Elena instead of Ethan?" By noon, Chloe had picked out the outfit, a soft peach sundress layered with a cardigan, ankle boots, and a small tote bag. Nothing flashy, nothing suspicious. Just another girl on her way to class. Walking onto campus felt like stepping into a dream. The chatter of students, the clatter of bikes and skateboards, the smell of coffee drifting from the student union, it was all painfully ordinary. Yet for Ethan, dressed as Elena, every detail was magnified. His heartbeat thundered as two students brushed past him, laughing. Neither spared him a second glance. In the lecture hall, Chloe slid into a seat beside him. Elena clutched her notebook like a shield, waiting for the inevitable, someone to gasp, point, whisper. But it never came. The professor launched into the lesson, and the only thing anyone noticed was that Elena was just another face in the crowd. Halfway through, Chloe scribbled a note and slid it across the desk. "They don't see Ethan. They see her." Elena's hands trembled as she wrote back, "Really?" Chloe grinned. "Really?" When class ended, something happened that Ethan would never forget. A girl from the row ahead turned, smiled at him, and said, "Cute dress. Where'd you get it?" Elena's breath caught. Thanks. My mom's boutique." "Nice taste," the girl said, then walked away without a trace of doubt. The world didn't crack. No one laughed. Elena had been seen and accepted. That night, back home, Ethan stared at his reflection long after the makeup was off. The boy in the mirror looked tired, hollow. But when he slid the wig back on and whispered, "Elena," the reflection came alive again. And for the first time, Ethan wondered if the dare had stopped being a dare at all. Ethan thought he could keep it a secret. The cafe trip, the campus test, the way Chloe had cheered him on. But Lydia had a way of seeing through him, even when he tried to hide. He came home late, cardigan draped over his arm, makeup carefully wiped away, but not carefully enough. Lydia was waiting in the kitchen, sipping tea. "Long day?" she asked casually. Ethan froze. Yeah. Just study group." She tilted her head, eyes narrowing. "Funny. Study groups don't usually leave faint lipstick on the rim of your coffee cup." His stomach dropped. She knew. Lydia set her mug down, her tone softer now. "You went out, didn't you?" "As Elena." Ethan swallowed hard. There was no point lying. "Yes." For a moment, Lydia just studied him. Then, to his surprise, she smiled. "Good. You needed to. The gala isn't a rehearsal. You'll be surrounded by cameras, critics, people waiting to see cracks. And you? You've already proved you can hold your own." Ethan blinked. "You're not mad." "Mad?" Lydia chuckled. "Honey, you've surpassed what I ever imagined. Valerie will be eating her words." But then her expression sharpened. "Which is why we need to raise the stakes. A full test run. Not just class. Not just coffee. I'm talking about stepping into the spotlight before the gala." Ethan's throat tightened. "Spotlight. I've got a charity preview dinner this weekend," Lydia explained, her eyes gleaming with ambition. "Small crowd. Donors, designers, photographers. If Elena can walk into that room and no one blinks, then the gala will be easy." The idea made his chest seize. Donors. Designers. Cameras. That wasn't just passing in front of strangers, it was performing. "Mom, that's scary?" "Yes." "Necessary?" "Also yes." "You've come this far, Ethan. Or should I say, Elena? Don't back down now." Ethan sat in silence, heart pounding. Chloe's encouragement replayed in his head, the girl on campus complimenting his dress, the way the barista had written Elena without hesitation. Maybe Lydia was right. Maybe it was time to stop testing the edges and step fully into the light. He lifted his chin, meeting her gaze. "Then let's do it." Lydia's smile widened, proud and fierce. That's my girl.